Hello and welcome guys, and welcome to this session of capital gains. And the question which was given to you on an assignment was that a king has some gold and silver utensils. They are not jewelry, they are not ornaments, they are not furniture, or they are not semi-precious or precious stones which are incarnated in furniture or something like that, but they are utensils which are used by that king. Now the question under consideration was whether these utensils, whether gold, silver utensils can be categorized as personal effect. If they are categorized as personal effect, they will be out of the purview of capital gains, and that will be a huge benefit to the king. So guys, Supreme Court, in the case of His Highness Maharaja Rana Hemant Singh Ji versus Commissioner of Income Tax, Supreme Court had decided a matter where it was the question under consideration was whether gold or silver utensils would classify as personal effect. So Maharaja had some gold and silver utensils which of course he had sold at some point in time, and those had reaped the capital gains, and capital gain tax was leviable on them. So the question was, if these gold and silver utensils were categorized as personal effects, then capital gain would not have been levied on it. Otherwise, capital gain would have been levied on it. So this is the big question which Supreme Court answered in this particular case. Now, first of all, before moving on to answering this question, we need to understand what do you mean by held for personal use, because the section 214 defines personal effect as a asset or a thing which is held for personal use. So Supreme Court in its wisdom has pronounced that held for personal use means articles which are, now please observe these three words guys, all of you must observe the three words. The three words are the articles which are normally, commonly or ordinarily intended for personal use. I hope all of you can see the screen, and on the screen Supreme Court view is loud and clear that three tests are to be met for any capital asset to be held as used for personal purposes, and the three tests are normally, commonly or ordinarily intended for personal use. So if you prove that these utensils were commonly, normally or ordinarily used for personal use, then they will be held as held for personal use, and they will be qualified to be called as personal effect. Otherwise they will not be called as personal effect. Accordingly, items like gold trays, caskets, cups, saucers kept in the showcase cannot be covered in this exception. So the Supreme Court said that if you have gold trays, gold caskets, gold cups and saucers which are usually put in your showcase. So guys, obviously if you have gold utensils in today's scenario, in today's world, no one will utilize them normally, commonly or ordinarily for personal use. The commonness or the normality will not be there in utilization of these assets. So it's an obvious call that these assets should not be covered under this exception, under the exception of personal effects, because these are not personal effects. Despite of the fact that you can say that, oh sir, once in a while during some great occasions the Maharaja used to eat his food in these utensils, you can say that, but still, even if Maharaja used to eat in these utensils, then also these are not normally, commonly or ordinarily intended for personal use. So you should always remember these three words while classifying the asset as held for personal use, which means personal effect. These three words are normally, commonly or ordinarily intended for personal use. So the Supreme Court view is loud and clear that the gold caskets, the gold ornaments, the gold utensils which are there with the king, if he sells these ornaments and these things, then he is liable to pay capital gain tax, and he will not be covered under the category of personal effect. So this is the answer to our first assignment part 1. Now our first assignment part 2. There is a mention of silver coins and silver bars used for doing puja on certain days were also not personal effect. Now if you use silver coins, silver bars, once in a while you pull them out from your almirah and you use them as a puja thing, and you keep them, then also they will also not be categorized as personal effect. So now the crux of the matter is, suppose if you have silver utensils, which means you eat in those utensils, you dine in those utensils on a regular basis. However, guys, in today's scenario, even that is hard to digest, that someone eats in silver utensils. But so be it. If your silver utensils are being utilized for eating purposes on a daily basis, then still there is a case which you can argue in front of the courts. But if you have gold utensils, if you have something which you pull out once in a while, and if you have something which is not regularly normally used as a personal effect, then guys, it will not be considered as a personal effect, and then it will obviously be chargeable to capital gain tax. So now you have to be very clear. You have to ask the client, you have to ask the assessee, what use has he taken these utensils in, and you have to prove before the court whether these utensils were on a regular, normal and a usual basis were used for the purpose of personal use. If you could prove this before the court, then the case can be in your favor, but there is high chances of unlikelihood that gold utensils can be categorized as personal effects, because guys, once Supreme Court gives an opinion on something, then it becomes a benchmark, then it almost becomes law of the land, and the law of the land is very, very clear in this particular aspect. So our assignment number 1, whereby it was stated that Maharaja had sold his gold utensils and there was capital gain on account of those gold utensils, that assignment number 1 has the answer to that assignment number 1 is that these gold utensils will not be categorized as personal effect. But yes, if you have some silver utensils which you prove that you use them on a regular basis, if you can prove that particular fact, then those silver utensils may still be considered as personal effects, but not the silver coins and bars which are used for doing some puja, some rituals, you perform those rituals and keep it back, that will not be categorized as personal effect. Okay. So the next assignment, assignment number 2, which we had discussed during the week, was that there was a transfer of property from one person to another person, and this transfer of property was registered very, very late. I mean, the property was actually transferred, legally transferred very, very late. However, the property was, the possession of the property was transferred at an earlier date. So possession was transferred at an earlier date, but the ownership of the property was transferred at a very later stage. So now the question which was there in assignment number 2 was whether the original date where possession was handed over to the transferee, whether that date will be considered for computing long-term or short-term capital gain, or whether the later date means the date when ownership was transferred, that should be considered as the date of transfer, because the impact would be that if you consider the former date, then it will be long-term capital gain. If you consider the later date, then it will be short-term capital gain. So a similar case was decided by Madras High Court, Madathil Brothers versus DCIT, which is Madras High Court. Question for consideration before the High Court was whether definition of capital asset emphasizes on ownership of property or on holding and enjoying the benefits of property. So capital asset capital gain tax is levied on the transfer of only ownership of the property, or even if beneficial ownership is transferred, holding is transferred, the enjoyment rights are transferred, even then I will say that transfer is there. So Madras High Court has critically examined this particular question, which will be our solution to the assignment number 2, which we have discussed during the week. So let's see what is the opinion of the High Court. The view of the High Court is that the definition is wide and include every possible interest that a person may hold and enjoy. The definition of capital asset refers to property of any kind held by an assessee. So see, High Court view is absolutely clear that whenever you start holding the property, irrespective of the fact whether you own that property or not, once you start holding that property, then you become the beneficial owner of that property, and then you are exigible to capital gain tax. So the word which is used in the section is held and not owned. So owing to this section which is used in the owing to this word which is used in the section says it refers to property of any kind held by an assessee. It doesn't say that property of any kind owned by the assessee. So the matter is very clear that since the date when the capital asset is held by the assessee, since that date we will count the holding period from. So in our example of Mr. Kochar, guys, of course the capital gain will be the long-term capital gain. The asset will be categorized as long-term capital asset because the transferee was in possession of the property much earlier than he was the owner of the property. So since holding of the property was much earlier, so the capital gain tax which will be levied will be long-term capital gain tax, and the asset will be categorized as long-term capital asset. So this is the answer to the two questions which we had discussed during our session. So let me intake students who are out of the session. Okay, so now any question out of the assignments, guys? Otherwise I'll be starting upon the test. So any question on the assignment? If you have any questions in these two case laws, I have described the case laws in brief. So any questions which you have?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Anas.
तो आपने फ्लो बताया सर जिसमें हेल्ड और ऑन में सर हम बेनिफिशियल।
अनस तुम्हारी आवाज कट गई। अनस तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली नहीं सुनाई दिया मुझे।
सर जो भी आपने सर केस लो डिस्कस किया उसमें मतलब हम सर बेनिफिशियल ओनर देखेंगे या हेल्ड ओनर देखेंगे?
वो हेल्ड का मतलब बेनिफिशियल ही तो है अनस। हेल्ड का मतलब है अगर तुमने प्रॉपर्टी पोजेस कर ली, पोजेस मतलब तुमने उस प्रॉपर्टी को हासिल कर लिया और तुम उसके सारे बेनिफिट्स एंजॉय कर रहे हो, रह रहे हो उसमें, उस प्रॉपर्टी को यूज कर रहे हो, उस प्रॉपर्टी को अपने पर्पस के लिए, बिजनेस पर्पस के लिए यूज कर, अपने पर्पस के लिए यूज कर रहे हो, उसमें रह रहे हो, उसको ठीक ठाक करवा रहे हो, उसमें जो भी काम करवाना है तुम कर, अगर तुम एंजॉय कर रहे हो उस प्रॉपर्टी को तो तुम बेनिफिशियल ओनर हो गए उस प्रॉपर्टी के। और जैसे तुम बेनिफिशियल ओनर हो गए उस प्रॉपर्टी के, वैसे ही तुम हेल्ड वाली कैटेगरी में आ गए। तुम होल्ड करते हो उस प्रॉपर्टी को, जो प्रॉपर्टी को तुम होल्ड करते हो उस प्रॉपर्टी का कैपिटल गेन टैक्स फिर तुम जो होल्ड कर रहे हो उससे लगाना स्टार्ट होगा। अनस के घर में और भी लोग हैं।
सर आपने जो फर्स्ट लोग, यस सर माय ब्रदर आल्सो।
अच्छा, वेरी नाइस। हाँ अनस, व्हाट इज योर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन?
सर जो आपने फर्स्ट केस लो डिस्कस था उसमें जो सर हम ये देखेंगे कि लिविंग ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड क्या है। अगर सर वो नॉर्मली यूज करता है उसको पर्सनल इफेक्ट में लेंगे।
ना लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड का देखो अनस, कोई यहाँ पर वो नहीं है, बेंचमार्क नहीं है। एक बात ऑब्वियसली बताओ, एक ऑब्वियस सी बात है यार, अगर आज की डेट में कोई अगर किंग भी होगा ना, मैं सपोज करता हूं उदयपुर का महाराजा है, उदयपुर के जो महाराजा भी होंगे ना वो भी गोल्ड के यूटेंसिल्स में खाना नहीं खाते होंगे। आज के अगर समय की बात करें तो कोई भी नहीं खाएगा क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा एक्सपेंसिव है गोल्ड। वो आप खाना उसमें खाओगे, उसको साफ करके रखोगे, वो खत्म होगा, कोई भी नहीं चाहेगा ये काम करना। कोई भी समझदार आदमी आज के डेट में गोल्ड के यूटेंसिल्स में रेगुलरली खाना नहीं खाएगा। तो ये स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग की बात नहीं है, ये एक लॉजिक की बात है, लॉजिक। तो लॉजिक बड़ा सिंपल सा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिया कि पर्सनल यूज में आप गोल्ड के यूटेंसिल्स नहीं यूज करोगे, इस वजह से इसको पर्सनल इफेक्ट से बाहर रखा गया है। अब ना बहुत कन्विंसिंग आर्ग्यूमेंट और बहुत कन्विंसिंग एविडेंस लगेगा इस चीज को प्रूव करने में कि अगर कोई राजा भी है तो भी वो गोल्ड के यूटेंसिल्स में खाना खाता है। बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्ग्यूमेंट और बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रूफ लगेगा। 99% चांस में केस नहीं जीत सकते तुम इस वाले केस को के बाद, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के केस के बाद।
ओके सर।
Sir,
यस श्री।
sir, I don't even know if this is possible, but according to this case law, sir, I got sir, silver bars and silver coins are considered to be capital assets, sir, and they're liable to tax now, sir.
Yes, Shri. Yes, that's true.
Sir, before the Before the assessment of taxable income, if the assessee can convert them into silver utensils, I don't know if it is possible, but if that happens, then he will reduce the tax now, sir.
So tell me something. If just before the transfer he converts them into utensils, then how will he prove that he normally, usually, and commonly utilize those utensils in his personal use? How will he prove it? Anas, please mute yourself. Shri, are you getting it? Along with
Yes.
being silver utensils, you also have to prove that you normally, usually, commonly use them for your personal use. How will you prove it if you have just converted them into utensils, say 1 month before you convert it or transfer it? How will you prove it? It will be difficult to prove.
Yes, sir.
That is the embargo.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yes. Okay, so guys, let's start. Yes, Manas. Yes, Manas, tell me.
गुड इवनिंग सर।
Good evening.
जी सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था सर। सर, अगर कोई मतलब अपने फादर अपने सन को कोई अगर कोई प्रॉपर्टी गिफ्ट में दे,
हाँ,
इन केस से आगे फ्यूचर में जाकर सन अगर उस प्रॉपर्टी को जाकर आगे कोई सेल करे तो उसके ऊपर जो आएगा वो कैपिटल गेन जो आएगा तो उसके ऊपर कैसे मतलब हम टैक्सेबल करेंगे?
तो सेल्स कंसिडरेशन माइनस द कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन इन हैंड्स ऑफ द फादर विल बी टैक्सेबल एज कैपिटल गेन्स।
यस सर।
इस फॉर्मूले को यूज करना है।
ओके सर।
Okay, so if your questions have ended, let us start our test, guys. So request all of you to open your cameras and your microphones, so that no need of opening the microphones, just open your cameras and I'll be starting with the test. Okay guys, so all the best for the test, and remember, read the question carefully and answer optimally. Okay, let's start. Question number 1. Choose the correct answer. Shares in unlisted company, in order to be treated as long-term capital asset, should be held for a minimum period of dash immediately prior to the date of transfer. You have 4 options. You have to choose one of them. Question number 2. Where a partner of a firm transfers any capital asset to the firm by way of capital contribution for the purpose of computing capital gains in hands of the partner, the amount of deemed consideration is. So this is a situation where partner of a firm transfers his capital asset in form of capital contribution. Question number 3 is, balance sheet of Purva India Private Limited as on 31st December 2020 is given to you. So there is a company Purva India Private Limited. आपको Purva India Private Limited की balance sheet given है. Equity share capital, preference share capital, reserves, loan, creditors, provision for dividend tax, land, building, WDV as per IT Act, machinery, WDV as per IT Act. Current assets 10,40,715. Additional information is that the company went into liquidation on the balance sheet date. तो balance sheet date पे company liquidation पे चली गई and all the current assets and building were realized at book value. The realized money was applied in the payment of outside liabilities including dividend tax and preference shareholders. Utkarsh is a holder of 10% equity shares and 20% preference shares of the company. Equity shares were originally acquired by him on 16th August 2002 at face value. However, he subscribed to the preference shares on 1st April 2020 which was issued at par. He received a part of land whose market value is rupees 5 lakhs and cash for preference shares rupees 20,000. So for equity shares he has got land and for preference shares he has got cash. Compute the capital gains in hands of A, the company, B, Utkarsh. Okay, so time is up, guys. Let's move on to question number 4 now. I hope you guys have done question number 3. अभिषेक तो एकदम टेंशन में लग रहा है. क्या हो गया अभिषेक? इतना क्यों टेंशन ले ली तुमने क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 की?
कुछ नहीं सर, क्वेश्चन हो गया.
Perfect.
नहीं
So
सर.
let's move on to question number 4. Now read this question very, very carefully because this question is pertaining to the text which you have read in your syllabus, and it also deals with a section for which there is no practical question in the notes which I have given to you. So recall the section first and then attempt this particular question. So R acquired an agricultural land in Delhi, and remember Delhi is an urban area. So R acquired an agricultural land in Delhi on 15th May 1992 for rupees 4 lakhs. The land is compulsorily acquired by Delhi government on 15th April 2002 and the compensation fixed was 25 lakhs. Rupees 10 lakhs was received by R on 15th January 2004 and the balance on 6th April 2004. R was not satisfied with the compensation and filed a suit in the court. The compensation was enhanced by rupees 5 lakhs, which was received on 25th March 2021. Compute the capital gain taxable in hands of R for various assessment years. So guys, there are 3 assessment years which are involved. So you have to find answers for capital gain tax for 3 assessment years. What shall be the answer if the entire original compensation of rupees 25 lakhs was received on 6th April 2004? That is the question. Again, you will get about 15 minutes to solve this question.